everyone, happy Monday. I hope you've all had a wonderful weekend. I'm Miss Ashtiani and I'm going to be doing our guided reading lessons this week. We're going to start by looking at who has been reading every day in each of the Year 1 classes. In 1A, we've got Alfie, Oliver C, Emmett, Mason, Elliot, Zach, Dylan, Olive, Odin, George, Lily and Tina. In 1C, we've got Kason, Emily, Sky, Buddy, Francesca, Sam, Sienna, Georgia, Max and Poppy. In 1J, we've got Cooper, Seb, Chloe, Ava and Roscoe. In 1D, we've got Tilly, Jack, Ivy, Libby, Pippa, Neve and Chloe C. Our learning objective for today's guided reading lesson is to make inferences on the basis of what has been said and done. The Viper skill we're focusing on today is infer. Year 1, what do you think infer means? You can pause the video here to have a think. Ready for your check? Infer means to make inferences from the text. We're going to be focusing on this Viper skill all week, everybody. We're going to have a look at some tricky words that you will find in the story. Your turn. Can you have a go at reading these tricky words? You can pause the video here to read them and then play the video for your check. Ready for your check? We've got some Chilly 1 tricky words. These are Phase 2 tricky words. We've got some Chilly 2 tricky words. These are Phase 3 tricky words. And for Chilly 3, we've got some Phase 4 and Phase 5 tricky words. Let's read them together. To, no, the, they, all, we, you, said, could, were, have, what, do. We're going to play a game now. I'm going to say a tricky word and you're going to splat the tricky word with your finger. Get your fingers ready to do some great splatting. Good listening, everyone. Splat the tricky word to. Splat the tricky word you. Splat the tricky word said. Splat the tricky word what. Splat the tricky word have. Splat the tricky word the. Splat the tricky word they. Splat the tricky word all. Splat the tricky word no. Splat the tricky word we. Splat the tricky word could. Splat the tricky word do. Splat the tricky word have. Splat the tricky word were. Well done, everybody. Okay, these are some new words that you might not have heard before or read in a book before. So we're going to have a look at them all. We're going to play a game as well of say it, shout it, whisper it, clap it, act it. Okay, my turn first. Paw. So I whispered it. Your turn to whisper the word. My turn. Mark it. Your turn to shout it. My turn. Strange. Your turn to clap it. My turn. Fine. Your turn. Very good, everybody. Let's have a closer look at what each of these words mean. Poor. When someone is poor, they have very little money. Here's an example of the word used in a sentence. Many people in the world are poor and do not have enough food to eat. Market. A market is a place where people buy and sell things. Here's an example of the word used in a sentence. We go to the farmer's market on Sundays. My mum and dad buy fruit and vegetables there. Strange. When something is strange, it is unusual or odd. I thought it was strange that my dog did not bark when the truck went by. Fine. Of very high quality, very good of its kind. That is a fine cow. Here is the front cover of the story we'll be focusing on this week. Your turn. What do you think the story is about? I'm going to make my prediction. The Viper skill we're focusing on for our starter is predict. Well, I think it might be about a little boy called Jack, because the title's Jack and the Beanstalk. And the Beanstalk. Well, I can see on the front cover that he's climbing something. Maybe that's a beanstalk. Maybe he goes on an adventure and discovers a beanstalk and climbs it. There's no right or wrong for this year one. You can just make your own prediction, thinking about what you think the story might be about. You can use the front cover to help you. Once upon a time, in a land far away, lived Jack and his mum. They were very poor. They had no food and no money. Whatever could they do? All we have left is Bessie, said Jack's mum. You will have to take her to market and sell her. The next day, Jack set off for market with Bessie. On the way, he met a strange-looking man. That's a very fine cow, the man said. My turn. I'm going to read the story again. Make sure you're doing really good listening, year one. Time to read the story. It's going to be my turn first, year one. So I'm going to read the story and you're going to listen and you can follow it as well, looking at the words. Once upon a time in a land far away lived Jack and his mum. They were very poor. They had no food and no money. Whatever could they do? All we have left is Bessie, said Jack's mum. You will have to take her to market and sell her. The next day, Jack set off for market with Bessie. On the way, he met a strange-looking man. Right then, now, it's going to be an hour turn. I'm going to read the story again, and you're going to follow along with your fingers. Once upon a time, in a land far away, lived Jack and his mum. They were very poor. They had no food and no money. Whatever could they do? All we have left is Bessie, said Jack's mum. You will have to take her to market and sell her. The next day, Jack set off for market with Bessie. On the way, he met a strange-looking man. We're going to take a closer look at this page. My turn. I'm going to read it again. Once upon a time in a land far away lived Jack and his mum. They were very poor. They had no food and no money. Whatever could they do? All we have is Bessie, said Jack's mum. You will have to take her to market and sell her. Let's take a closer look at our Viper's skill infer. How do you think Jack is feeling here? Pause the video to have a think. Your turn. My turn. I think Jack is feeling sad because he has a sad look on his face. His mum has also just told him that they will need to get rid of the cow, and I think that's making him feel very upset. I'm now going to share a story with you all. It's a traditional story. I hope you enjoy it. The Gingerbread Man. One day, Molly and her mum decided to make a gingerbread man for their tea. Molly gave the gingerbread man bright eyes and a cheeky smile made of icing. Mum gave him a sailor suit. What a jolly gingerbread man he was! We can eat the gingerbread man for our tea, said Mum. Oh, no, you won't, said the cheeky gingerbread man, springing up off the tray. He jumped off the table, then ran across the floor and straight out of the door. Molly and Mum were amazed. Quick as they could, Mum and Molly and the dog and the cat ran after the gingerbread man. Stop! They shouted, but the gingerbread man did not stop. He just ran faster, singing, "Run, run, as fast as you can. You can't catch me, I'm the gingerbread man." They came to a field where a spotty cow was cheerfully chomping grass. "Stop! Stop! Moo!" mooed the cow as the gingerbread man ran past. But the gingerbread man did not stop. He just ran faster, singing, "Run, run, as fast as you can. You can't catch me, I'm the gingerbread man." The cow ran off after the gingerbread man, and Mum and Molly and the dog and the cat ran after the cow. But none of them could catch the gingerbread man. An old grey pony was grazing nearby. When he saw the gingerbread man, he whinnied, "Hey, stop!" But the gingerbread man did not stop. He just ran faster, singing, "Run, run, as fast as you can. You can't catch me, I'm the gingerbread man." The pony flicked his tail and galloped after the gingerbread man. And the cow, Mum, Molly, the dog and the cat ran after the pony. But none of them could catch the gingerbread man. The gingerbread man came to a rushing river. "Oh," he said, "I can't swim. How will I get across?" A sly fox sidled up to the gingerbread man. "Why don't you hop on my back? I will help you across the river," he said. So the fox set off across the river with the gingerbread man sitting on his back. "Oh dear," said the fox, "the water is getting deeper. You'd better hop onto my head." So the gingerbread man hopped up onto the fox's head. But then the fox's mouth went snap, 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 and his sharp teeth went crunch, crunch, munch, and that was the end of the gingerbread man. So the cow, the pony, the cat, the dog, Molly and Mum all had bread and jam for tea that day. I hope you enjoyed that story, everybody. Hope you'll join me again tomorrow for another guided reading lesson. Bye!